we can't talk about medicine without talking about, medicine. So I thought I'd give you a quick introduction of what pharmacology is like in medicine today. And so pharmacology, if you don't know, is the study of drugs, the study of medicines, and how they interact with us. Um, Particularly how we're going to use these drugs or medicines to help treat diseases. Uh, and so the first thing that probably comes up in your mind is that, oh, this sounds a lot like biochemistry. This sounds a lot like molecular biology and all those really like high tech, really weird sounding stuff. But as I've said, there's a vast medicine is a very vast field, and we have to appreciate the entire breadth of it. And so in pharmacology, similarly enough, there's all sorts of features that are involved that aren't necessarily biochem or molecular bio based, including dosing. So this is called a dose response curve. We use it a lot when we're experimenting with drugs, with medicines, or all sorts of molecules that you find in your body, and to see how they interact with our body. And so it's a really simple graph. It's just the dose of the medicine graphed out against the measured response. So this sounds really simple. I'm quite sure you guys are thinking, oh, just take the dose at which the drug works best, at maximal efficacy, and just give it to the patients. Easy enough, right? But not so fast. So you might be wondering now, why am I showing you a picture of a spoiled sausage? This seems very random, but not really, because in the 1800s, the really early 1800s, it was through a spoiled sausage that a group of scientists came together and they found this little bugger here called Clostridium botulinum. Now, that may or may not sound familiar to you, but what I want to talk about today isn't this bacteria. It's what this bacteria makes, which is called botulinum toxin, or probably more widely known as Botox. So Botox isn't a very unique drug. It's very widespread and very commonly used in all sorts of countries and all around the world for all sorts of reasons. But Botox is a really good example of how something as simple as dosing in pharmacology can really influence how you treat your patients. And so Botox, as I've said, its full name is botulinum toxin. It is inherently a poison. Therefore, we have to use them in very, very, very small amounts. We have to be careful with how we use them. And so we use them in such small amounts that scientists have actually made specialized units for Botox. So each unit of Botox is equals to about 0.73 nanograms. That is a very small amount. That is less than a billionth of a gram. Now, I want you guys to give me a number, any number, and try and guess what dose we use Botox for and what you think we use it for. So going downwards from my little tab here, um, let's start with Subomi. What do you think? How many units? From 0 to 100,000. Just give me any number.
Maybe 50,000.
Okay. And going down, there's Born. Sorry again if I butchered your name. Is that how you pronounce it?
No, and it's my dad's name.
Oh, what's your name? Sorry.
Ferdinand.
Sorry, could you say that again?
Ferdinand.
All right. So what do you think?
Um, 51,000.
51,000. Okay. And Jesse?
75,000.
75,000. Okay. And Christian?
Like
90,000.
Okay. And uh Tabia? Okay, I can't hear anything. But all right, so the big reveal. So I'm quite sure you guys know that Botox is used very commonly for cosmetic uses. It's pretty much a muscle relaxant, so it stops your face from scrunching up and kind of relaxes it, preventing you from making wrinkles. Oh, sorry. So the big reveal. So as I've said, it's used for cosmetic uses and it's injected very lightly on your face. So for each injection site, for one injection site, that is roughly around 4 units of Botox. Very, very, very small amount. However, if you're looking for a full forehead makeover, that's roughly totaling to about 40 units of Botox all around your face. But that's not it. That's not all. Um, Using similar amounts of Botox, but just slightly adjusting where you use it at, we've actually had clinical trials, these really, really big live experiments on people, very safely, of course, very safely and strictly regulated. And we found that similar amounts of Botox, injected slightly differently, can actually be used to treat headaches and migraines. Now, even more so, the Royal College of Obstetrics and Gynecologists in the UK, this is an actual approved procedure, have actually approved the use of more Botox, injected again as well, just in a slightly different site, to treat overreactive bladders. So that's roughly about 200 to 300 units of Botox. And of course, as I've said, Botox is inherently poisoned. It is the dose that makes the poison or the medicine. And so there is a lethal dose. And so for Botox, that is about roughly about 13,300 units. Now, that sounds like a big, slightly big number, a little bit smaller than what you guys were thinking. But don't forget, um, 1 unit of Botox is only 0.73 nanograms, and so 13,300 units of Botox, that is a lethal dose on humans, is roughly just half a grain of sugar. So it's a very, very strictly regulated, very, very strictly handled drug that can be used for all sorts of stuff. Now, the reason why I use this example today is because I think, in my opinion, this is a really good example to show how in medicine we're able to take one subject, one topic, and kind of look at it at different perspectives. Treat, in this case, using the same drug to treat different diseases and to treat different problems on people. And this is and in terms of pharmacology, this is a very, very basic um, system and structure of how we repurpose drugs. So going back into